Hello guys, Mr. ATC as usual for another video of Aussie, and welcome back to my ATC TV. Nowadays, it looks like everyone would like to have a kitchen island. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just great. With a kitchen island you can have a nice talk. Especially for me, it's one of the best cooking platforms. But I realized when I saw most of them that they are missing one thing. A table on their side to enjoy this talk even better. So today I've decided to show you how I'm building one, and as usual, with simple material. Before we start, I would like to give a big shout out to the new member of this community. We will be showing some of their creation all along the video. As you can see, the first one showing just above here, they are creating some very cool stuff, so I will advise you to click on that link and check them out. Alright, let's go and create this kitchen island table. Alright, here is the space and platform we will be working on. I will be using here a simple piece of plywood and take the measurements in order to create the tabletop. Then, when this is done, time to move to the table to do some cutting. And as you can see, I'm preparing everything in order to use my plunge saw now. And as the platform was a little bit larger than the piece of plywood, I'm here taking the measurements in order to remove 2 cm on the left side. And I will be repeating here the same process using my plunge saw. And now, as you can see, it fits perfectly. Then, time to move to the bottom part and create the legs. And to create the legs, I will be using one piece of lumber that I previously divided in 2, then using here my planer to reduce their thickness. And I have to tell you, one of the sad things with this placement is the fact that I have a wooden chair that one of my friend designer gave to me. But instead of throwing it away, I've decided to include it into the design. So here, I'm taking the opportunity and enjoying a last tea on it. Then, time to move and see how I could include it into this design. Here I'm trying the right corner, and it seems like it's gonna be a good fit for it. Alright, let's see what do I have to remove then. The right side gonna be attached to the kitchen island. I'm here tracing a line in order to know exactly where to make my cut. Then for the cut, I will be this time moving to my table saw. And once again, it fits perfectly. Now time to move to my meter saw in order to make the cut for the bottom and top side. Alright, it looks like we are almost done for this side. Then I'm making sure to have the same measurements for the left side. And in order to save some piece of lumber here, I've decided to create the two backside out of one piece. And here, I'm dividing one piece in two using a diagonal line. Then my jigsaw in order to make the cut. And here we are, 2 for the price of 1. And as I told you before, those pieces here gonna be used as the back side. Before applying my lovely wood burning technique on them, I've decided to make some sand, then use here my blowtorch to burn them all. Please note that the same technique will be also applied on the top side. Then here using some sandpaper to smooth down the top. To make it fancy, I've decided to draw kitchen on the left back side. Then this drawing will be cut using my router, then infilled with some epoxy resin. Now that each pieces are ready, I will be trying them all into their placement. Yeah, looking nice already. By visualizing the final design, I realized that the backside were a little bit too long. So I'm here taking the measurements on each side to make the cuts. Then rounding up a little bit the top side. Then using first my meter saw to cut off the excess. Then my jigsaw for the tabletop. In order to infill the epoxy resin on the tabletop, I will be here creating some holes using my drilling machine. Then moving to the router for the tabletop in order to round up a little bit the edges. Then it's time for me to close the different holes using tapes in order to infill the epoxy. Then after that you will have to wait for an entire day. Then remove the tapes to see the result. After that, I will be covering the entire tabletop with a thin layer of epoxy. But as before, we first need to use some tapes. And one of the things that I really like with this effect is the fact that it's really highlighting the burning wood structure. Here I'm using the first one, which will be an 80 grit sandpaper, to move then to the 120 grit sandpaper. And to remove the excess on the border of the tabletop, I've decided here to use my belt sander. Then to finish on the top side, I'm using here some spray lacquer. Now that the top is done, I will be screwing and fixing all of the bottom side together. In order to fix the top, I've decided to create some holes in order to insert some screws. But please note that those screws are gonna be removed at some point. But I will tell you more about it in a few minutes. Then I will be here using some pads at the bottom of each legs in order to avoid scratching the lamina. Then here we are. Time to assemble everything and see finally how it's gonna look like. As I told you a few minutes ago, I will be screwing the tabletop to the bottom side, but at the same time, I will be also using something else. And when I say something else, I'm referring about wooden joiner. So here, I'm drilling some holes in order to insert them. Please note that I will be also using some scrap wood to create some extra support that will go underneath the tabletop. Then remember, I told you that I will be using some screws, which will be at some point removed. And now, let's see if everything is well leveled. And yes, it looks like we are all good to go. In one of the next video, I will be showing you what I'm doing here in order to remove those screws and add in the holes some epoxy resin.
Alright, so that's it for me for today. Remember, if you would like to promote your own creations or even your company to give people another idea of housing or even your own idea of housing, feel free to do it via the ATC app, link showing just above the screen here, and we will be featuring you for free in our next videos. Alright, Mr. ATC as usual for another idea of housing. If you are new to this channel and you would like to see more and to receive a free plan, because that's what we are sharing every week, a free plan with you, feel free to subscribe just right here and click on the bell. And I'll see you next time.